Okay, as y'all can see, this is just another daily dose of our reading. It says why white supremacists and QAnon enthusiasts are obsessed, but very wrong, about the Byzantine Empire. Roland Betancourt, professor, University of California, Irvine. This was produced on August 1st, 2021, and I got the article from brother Andre Wickham, and I've sent it to a couple other people. But this is going to be one of the best things that I've been able to do for a very long time. Let's get ahead and get into it. I'm going to read the article first, and then I'm going to break some stuff down. We'll be back to this picture in a second. From Charlottesville to the Capitol, medieval imagery has been repeatedly shown at the far-right rallies and riots in recent years. Displays of Crusader shields and tattoos derived from Norse and Celtic symbols are of little surprise to medieval historians like me, who have long documented the appropriation of the Middle Ages by today's far right. But amid all the expected Viking imagery and nods to the Crusaders has been another dormant medievalism that has yet to be fully acknowledged in reporting on both the far right and conspiracy theorist movements, the Byzantine Empire. Byzantium, or more properly, the medieval Roman Empire, controlled much of the Mediterranean at the height of its territorial rule in the mid 6th century. Centered in modern day Istanbul, AD, so Common Era, 330 to 1453, its capital of Constantinople was a thriving intellectual, political, and military power. One of its crowning achievements, the Church of Hagia Sophia, is a testament to the empire's architectural and artistic prowess. But in the Western world, the Byzantine Empire has been largely overlooked and forgotten. High school students in the United States are likely to know little about the empire, and nowadays the word Byzantine has simply come to mean complicated, secret, and bureaucratic. This lowering of its status isn't entirely a new process. As far back as 1776, English historian Edward Gibbon was disparagingly referring to the empire's inhabitants as the servile and effeminate Greeks of Byzantium. A new Byzantium. Despite this modern disdain for the Byzantium in the West, it has recently served as an inspiration to various factions of the far right. In September 2017, Jason Kessler, an American-born neo-Nazi who helped organize the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia, inaugurated a new white supremacist group called the Byzantium Project. The New Byzantium Project. Described by Kessler as a premier organization for pro-white advocacy in the 21st century, the New Byzantium is based on the white supremacist leader's misrepresentation of history. His premise is that when Rome fell, the Byzantine Empire went on to preserve a white European civilization. This isn't true. In reality, the empire was made up of diverse people who walked the streets of its capital, coming from as far away as Nubia, Ethiopia, Syria, and North Africa. Contemporaneous sources noted at times with disdain the racial and ethnic diversity of both Constantinople and the empire's emperors. But Kessler's New Byzantium is intended to preserve white dominance after what he calls the inevitable collapse of the American empire. The organization has been operating under the radar since 2017 with little online footprint. The original deep state. Kessler isn't alone in appropriating the empire. Through my research, I have monitored references of Byzantium in online forums. Mentions of Byzantium are scattered across the message boards frequented by both white supremacists and QAnon enthusiasts. What's the difference? who spout conspiracy theories about a deep state cabal of Satan worshiping, blood drinking pedophiles running the world. Across 8kun or 8kun and other online platforms I have reviewed, the Byzantine Empire is discussed as either continuing the legacy of Rome after it was, in their understanding, destroyed by the Jews, or being the only true empire, with Rome being merely a historical myth created to degrade Byzantium's power and importance. Whatever. This latter story emerges in a QAnon thread on baking, that is the connection and weaving together of drops of messages by the enigmatic Q. I don't know why I couldn't say that word. One post states, "It makes all the sense when you have learned the books of the Bible or plagiarized copies of the chronology of Byzantium, and so is the mythical Roman Empire that never existed in Italy, but was in fact centered in Constantinople." Wow. Wow. These guys. Let's just keep reading. Other QAnon commentators across the message boards and Twitter speak of the exiled throne of Byzantium, noting the empire never went away, it just went occult. They exclaim, "Long live Byzantium," and call for a return to Byzantium to save people from the Satanists. Oddly, while some hold up the Byzantine Empire as the vanguard of white supremacy, a smaller group of white supremacists and conspiracy theorists see it as the original deep state. In some editions, Byzantium, by its way of hazy Illuminati connections, the origins of the deep state. The myth of an underground cabal of elites who run the world in secret. It has persisted in secrecy since Constantinople's fall, either trading in eunuchs on the clandestine market or preserving whiteness and Christianity, depending on the thread's negative or positive outlook on the empire. So pretty much they put the spin on it however they see fit. Reconquest of Hagia Sophia. For many on the far right, talk of Byzantium is cloaked in Islamophobia, both online and in tragic real-life events. A white supremacist who killed more than 50 worshippers at a mosque and church in Christchurch, New Zealand in 2019 rallied against the Turks and conquest of Constantinople in the 74-page manifesto. "We are coming for Constantinople, and we will destroy every mosque and minaret in the city. The Hagia Sophia will be free of minarets, and Constantinople will be rightfully Christian-owned once more," the shooter wrote. Throughout QAnon message boards, the reconquest of Hagia Sophia is emblematic of the destruction of Islam and the restoration of a mythic white Byzantium. One posted, "When we free Constantinople and the Hagia Sophia, maybe we can talk." Third Rome. The reconquest of Constantinople had been even tied in some online posts to the presidency of Donald Trump, with images circulated online seemingly prophesying that it would happen under his tenure. In one image, Trump is seen congratulating Russian President Vladimir Putin on the retaking of Constantinople and shaking hands in front of what is presumably meant to be the Hagia Sophia, though is actually the Sultan Ahmed Mosque, also known as the Blue Mosque. Putin himself is not averse to the drawing symbolism of the Byzantium. The Russian state has long tried to position itself as the rightful successor to the Byzantine Empire, with Moscow as the Third Rome. This forms part of a religious and political doctrine tied to Russian territorial expansion that can be traced back as far as the late 15th century. The far-right appropriation of Byzantium in the U.S. appears to be influenced by this Russian interpretation. Indeed, Russian proponents of the Third Rome doctrine has been cited as influenced by prominent figures on the American right. No matter the provenance of the recent interest in Byzantium from America's white supremacists and conspiracy theorists, once again, don't know the difference, one thing is clear. It is based on a very warped idea of the Byzantine Empire that has been emerged out of the empire's fraught place in our histories, caught between ancient and medieval spiritual and bureaucracy. Stop right there. Let's go back up to this picture. Listen, y'all. I'm about to bust their ass. Look at this picture right here. You see that dude holding a cross? That tells you that this is a recently painted picture. It's not even that old. Secondly, let's just get down to let's get down to business. Crusaders. Norse, Celtic symbols. Okay, let me ask y'all a question. Is it just a coinkydink that the same dudes who I've already told y'all were taught by the Romans and the Greeks, were introduced to history by them, are trying to take their identity? You know, the preserve the culture move. Listen, man, I need y'all to keep up with your boy. I'm not dropping videos just so that way people don't learn nothing. Take all the information in and start to apply everything you know. Let's keep rolling. I got a few more minutes for this. Where's we at? Look at this right here. The Hagia Sophia. You know this was built by black people. Let's not even play that game. Let's not even play that game. You know niggas built that. Okay? I told y'all before, the Byzantine Empire was black people who were left over. And how they try to present the Moors is a lie, because they were reconquered, and that's when the Moors come up in that bitch. Anyway, man, it's deep. They don't want y'all to know the truth. If they told you the truth, this writer right here is only being half honest, partially honest, because they won't even talk about the fact that the Greeks are black. The Romans are black. None of these dudes speak Latin to this day, and yet they claim to be the descendants. Why does Vladimir Putin speak cave language if he, come on, how you can't be the real successors of something that you're not? Listen, y'all, all these dudes still trying to preserve the culture. Man, where we at? Where's the spot at? Where's the spot at? No. Is this it? The reconquest of the Hagia Sophia is emblematic of the destruction of Islam and the restoration of a mythic white Byzantium. Stop. You know what that means? That means that this writer knows that everybody there was black. Why don't you say that? See, they be so afraid to lose their tenure at these places. I don't have no job to lose. You can't fire me. Right on? You're not the one who's gonna give me the paycheck. And if I get fired, it'll be on my own accord. Not because you're hating, you know what. Look, man. Look, y'all. I love my people, I do. But there's some serial haters coming around who they think your boy wants to build plebiscite something. These niggas are mentally retarded. Word, and don't even understand that they're imbeciles. It's okay. These are the same dudes who have real learning disabilities and just don't seem like it. I know dudes like these dudes. They don't know nothing. I'm trying to give y'all the game so that way you can understand what's really going on here. Like I said, how can a Latino or they're not Latinos, they're not Latin, bruh. They don't speak Latin. They don't look like the true Latins that would have been over there across the seas all those years ago. Anyway, let me leave it be, because you don't think it's those same dudes. All these cats are in on it. I've been telling y'all this for years, but we just need Rick to do what they gonna do and keep fucking it up. We out.